Well, here we go. Hello YouTube, hello folks. This is, I guess, my first video here on the tubes. Long time fan, first time user, I guess. Probably been on YouTube, especially like the start of when I was getting into training in the gym. I was obsessed with sort of the fitness YouTubers, watched all these sort of OGs, and always kind of had a feeling in the back of my head that I wanted to start one. Been obviously putting it off for quite some time and been a coach now for over 10 years. But feel like now's the time. Obviously want to give you guys a little bit more long form content, as they say, and give you guys a little bit more detailed educational pieces, but also some background clips of my life. But I guess more importantly, some background on the gym operations. And I thought now's a pretty good time, considering AVOLVE Performance is probably going through one of its biggest transition phases ever. We've been operating for 3 years and we've come to the end of our lease at Maroubra, so we've decided to upgrade our facility, get a bigger space, and I thought, you know what, it would be good to take you through the ride. So we are literally a couple of days after getting our approval. Our lease has started, so this is kind of our like day one of getting started here at the gym. So I'm literally parked outside the big old warehouse, 23 Underwood Avenue, and decided that I'll sort of take you through what we're sort of planning with the place, why we sort of moved over to Botany, and give you guys a bit of a rundown, I guess, of what it's like to get a gym operating, get it amidst all the chaos, and yeah, just give you a bit of a backseat journey as to how this place is going to be cranking in probably 4 weeks time. So can't wait, super excited. This is probably the facility of my dreams that I wanted to get started all those years back. Maroubra was unreal for where we were, and it took us a few years to literally find the spot and actually get the doors rolling with issues with approval processes and whatnot. And just find the right place amidst COVID and prices skyrocketing. But it was perfect in terms of like the location, its convenience, and where we're at. But we've overgrown in terms of how many athletes we're serving. People are treading on each other, trying to train, getting in the way of each other. It's pretty hard to manage everyone in there in the smaller space. So this space here, it's about double the size, high ceilings. We can do whatever the fuck we want, really, in terms of the exercises. We're not really limited by anything, which is unreal. Super excited for. Med ball throws into the wall, med ball throws into the sky, those types of things we probably wouldn't be able to do when we were at Maroubra, being a bit more of a commercial building with gyprock walls and things like that. So super pumped for that. We'll give you a bit of a rundown on what the place will look like. Angus is about to turn up soon. He's getting a couple of supplies from Bunnings. One of the many trips that we'll be going on to all Bunnings will be their best friend over the next few weeks again. And yeah, super keen to take you guys through the journey. Alrighty, so here is the warehouse facility. So it sort of wraps around. This is about 500 square meters. Our space at Maroubra was about 280. So I'm claiming it's double, especially when you look at the ceiling heights and things like that. It definitely feels like it's almost triple the size. We've got obviously a big track in mind and things like that. We'll give you a bit of a rundown a little bit later on sort of the equipment. We're going to remove some of these walls just here and open it up a little bit more. We've got, this is the plan at the moment. There's a little bit of a pump section. We can sort of see our cool downlights that we've been gifted as part of just signing this lease, so we'll keep those. They look pretty darn good. So we've got this big empty room here, a little bit of aircon going on there, unreal. And in here is going to be our recovery space. So we've got a sauna ice bath that we currently have at Maroubra that we'll be utilising here. Toilet, shower facilities, another toilet around the corner, so got a boys and girls going on there. And we've got a little mezzanine as well, so let's head on up the stairs just here. And here we go, big mezzanine floor. We'll put a lot of the machines at this stage, so leg extension, hammy curls, that type of jazz. Try and put a little bit more of the, I guess, accessory style exercises up here to use this space, maybe a little bit of cardio equipment. And then just in here is the office space, as well as, we'll call it our dry recovery or our compression boots, and we'll have a TV set up here, kitchen, another bathroom, allied health office, and mine and Angus's office in here. And yeah, that's going to be the current plan. So pretty big spot, pretty exciting times. Can't wait to paint this whole thing. Oh my god, fit it all out. That's going to be fun. At least the work is not too bad when you're super excited about something. So keen to put in a lot of hours here, and then be able to build up the dream facility for athletes at the end of the day. So create a space where athletes can be at home to develop their sport, no matter what sport they are, no matter what their level is, no matter what their age is. They'll come to AVOLVE Performance and be able to be them and know they're in the best hands to get as good as they can and as prepared as they can for their sport.
Hey, yo.
Say hello to YouTube.
Sorry, just take care of you.
What's today's job?
Very important. Today's job is clean the place. This is the first time we've been here where we've had our approval, so we actually need to just make it tidy, get ready for all the construction and all the flooring to come.
Yeah, it's pretty basic warehouse set up for the baking for a little bit, so there's a bit of dust pile up going on. So we're just sweeping up the sheds, as they like to say. So that we can get our builders, get started on the fit out in holiday time. Actually, I originally came here and thought about doing flooring again, but we realised that it's probably going to get pretty dirty and messy once the builders start doing their thing. So I'm going to wait for them to do their job first. I feel a bit like we've got nothing in our way to get the fit out going. We kind of want to just get started and get ready, but there's a few things we've got to wait for until we can get our system organised later. So stay tuned. So we thought we'd break up our sweeping efforts to give you guys a little bit of a Q&A regarding the gym move and maybe some of the commonly asked questions about why we're moving over here. So I guess, yeah, question one, do you want to answer it, is why the hell are we here? Why are we in Botany?
We're here because, a few reasons, but primarily we do need a lot more space to provide the service that we want. And as much as Maroubra has served us very well, we have, over the last 12 months, realised that we're getting a little bit full, which puts a limit on how many members we can have in the gym, how many pieces of equipment we can have. So yeah, this coincided with the end of our lease, and we decided we would not continue to stay there. We would look to go somewhere bigger, have higher ceilings, have a lot more functionality when it comes to the kind of training and service that we want to provide to our athletes. So yeah, that's a little summary.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think we always had in mind that we were going to move to a bigger facility when we started. It was kind of like when we commenced Maroubra, it was more like a test of the business and the business model and how it would serve the athletes, especially in the eastern suburbs. Obviously, and thankfully that was successful enough for us to have this issue. So it's a good issue to have. And I think when we were first looking as well, many years of searching for the correct spot or the best spot that we could at the time, we really had in mind that we wanted a warehouse. And unfortunately, there just wasn't a warehouse suitable for our needs at the time. We wouldn't have started in a place like this. We wouldn't have been able to even fit it out and I guess have the current capacity at the start to fit enough members in and things like that. So it was nice to be able to grow into a place like this and have the comfort knowing that we can sort of slot straight in and be able to enhance our service straight away and be able to use the space correctly. But yeah, super pumped. Always wanted a warehouse. Gives us a lot more options when it comes to our exercises and a level of flexibility. It's almost as if we can't, there's no exercises we can't do in here, which is, as a coach, it makes me feel really excited to get into programming and give some exercises that I couldn't sort of give before, and not have to worry about, you know, neighbours and things like that we had at our previous sort of commercial residence that was, you know, below residential and above commercial giants like Audi and things like that. So it's nice just to be in a space where we can just, you know, do our own thing and have no limitations.
So frequently asked question number 2, what can we expect that's going to be new at the new place? I think there's a few things that will go out without saying in terms of filling out the space. So like we're going to have almost double the amount of turf space that we did at our previous location, which is going to be unreal for spacing and actually utilising the turf properly. Bunch more flooring. We're going to get a whole lot more squat racks as well. So there is going to be no issue with the amount of people that we need squatting at any one time. So that's going to be great. One thing that I'm super excited for, we're going to get a Eleiko combo rack, which would be, you know, what they use in IPF competition. So it just means that from a powerlifting training standpoint, we can have the best of the best when it comes to competition.
Sorry, a bit of technical difficulties with the new camera running out of battery halfway through, but charged up. Continue what you were saying about the Eleikos.
So yeah, if we can provide our members with a kind of the competition standard when it comes to powerlifting equipment, then happy days for us. And as time goes on, I think we'll be looking to get a bunch of more pieces of equipment as well when it comes to more machines, squat racks, Kaisers, things that are going to be on our checklist that we're going to be looking to tick off as the year and as the years go on. But you know, step number 1 is obviously just open, get the necessities, get the members in, get the transition over smoothly, and then there'll be a lot more exciting things to come.
On top of obviously the strength conditioning equipment and the luxurious options that Angus has mentioned that we're keen to buy, and obviously over the last couple of years we've got some equipment, but we also had in mind that we're sort of going to be expanding to another facility, so you kind of had to save for that and had a little bit more cash in the pocket in case something went, you know, a little bit not according to your plan or your budget. It'd be nice to save up for equipment now and just like deck out the gym as much as we can. But some of the pieces of equipment that I'm excited to see that I want to implement is something like a basketball hoop. Obviously, being in a small facility before, a small low low ceilings, it's very hard to, you know, add the gamification and I guess the environment builders that I want to sort of add in. So a basketball hoop is one of those things in between sets. People can just shoot a few hoops. Even though I'm terrible at basketball for some reason, despite my height, at least I'll have a lot of practice to be able to get that ball in the hoop, which is cool. Maybe a boxing bag, maybe some kicking net action, who knows. These are just some ideas that I've seen at different facilities that I've seen are just like energy boosters. They're not necessarily things that you would program in a workout, but it goes a long way in getting more out of the session from a community standpoint, and also just enjoying your time here at the training facility. So I think I'm more excited, just for the little gimmicky sort of items that we'll add in. I hope you guys appreciate the seats that we've got, Iron Edge React flooring. Shout outs.
That's on it.
Thank you. And question number 3, is there anything that kind of changes when it comes to the services we offer other than obviously the equipment and the facility that we have? The answer is not necessarily. Our coaching times, we have them in the morning, early morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m, and then in the afternoon, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. They'll remain the same. Speed and agility sessions are still going to be happening Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. We're looking to add in another session there. Everyone will still be able to access the gym throughout the week and on weekends outside of those coaching times. So everything stays pretty similar. On that front, we'll just be looking to add more opportunities to, you know, additional coaching sessions as time goes on and as the gym gets busier. I reckon, final question, when the hell is this going to start, you reckon? There's a big empty warehouse. There's not much going on right now. The only thing that we've got here is the flooring. We've just been dusting around and cleaning up the floor. When do you reckon we'll get started?
I think we can't confirm exact dates just yet. It will depend on how everything goes with the construction and the transition of equipment over and all that kind of stuff. But I think we'll be looking to open around that early to mid-July. At this point, we'll be looking to get out of our current facility at the end of June, so in about four and a bit weeks' time. And if the transition can go really smoothly, then hopefully a week or two after that. I know I might be a bit too hopeful about that, but
everything goes to plan with these things, right? So
yeah, nothing.
It'll happen.
Nothing will go wrong. So early to mid July.
Yeah.
set it in your calendar.
Alright, let's go through it. Very early stage, but I think we've got a bit of a vision for what's going to come. So, big 6 metre by 20 metre turf all along here. Very lovely little Evolve custom logo in the middle.
Yeah, custom turf, finally, eh?
Finally.
So, see, last time we tried to customize our room turf, we painted it about 6 different times, different paints. We ended up using road paint to things that they actually put on to mark out the roads, and that wouldn't even stick. So custom turf, apparently it's worth the cost. You just got to do it.
Got to pay up. Got to pay up. So let's go through it. We're standing here across the entire wall. We're looking at 5 road swat racks, or swat cages, I should say, so 10 racks. In front, we'll look to have a bunch of essentially platform setups. So the way we're looking to do it is set wood in the middle of our flooring and then have flooring around it. So it's essentially just like lifting and deadlifting platforms built into the floor without having to move them around. So it also looks really good.
That's why to keep the space, to keep being able to do your Olympic list when you want.
Perfectly nice and open. In front of that, we'll have a bunch of combo racks that will sit in front of the platform and just on the turf. Then coming over this side, on the turf, I think we'll have a bunch more platforms in the corner, so like deadlift platforms that'll be set up just to make it easy. I think this will be a really nice open space coming through here. And then, yeah, I think back wall we're looking at super machine, belt squats, a couple of like easy machines to put up against the wall. And I can't think of anything else right now. We're going to back down a little bit nicer, but that should be it for the main stuff here. Right here, after we knock out these walls, we will look to put our cable system all along this side.
We got a cable system for the Maroubra, and we had to take off half of it. So we've got like an 8-stage cable system, half the like Cedar Road. I think another pull down, maybe.
Cedar Road, yeah.
It's just sitting in our closet. So that's been nice to hold on to that. So I guess I'm going to So back here at Maroubra HQ, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just spent the last few hours doing some sweeping and some cleaning and whatnot, taking some nice pics for Instagram to do the old gym announcement. I'm going to do a quick training session, and then we're going to do some coaching on the gym floor with the afternoon crew. So I'll sort of take you through a session today that I'm doing. I sort of have just gotten back from overseas. I did a spontaneous trip to America with my fiance Star, which was outrageous. It was unreal. Got to be in New York whilst the Knicks won their sort of legendary playoff final, which is unreal. But I haven't really trained for the past 2 weeks. It's actually funny. We got our approval last week, and it was iconic, I should say. I was having a pizza in the middle of Times Square when I got the email that we got our approval. And if anyone's gone through any sort of council approval process, it's the most tedious, most painful, stressful sort of period in your life. And it's very, like, we thought it was hard sort of starting a new place, but having the added stress of like finishing a lease at a current place and having that sort of timeline to get the approval through for the other one was wild. So there was a lot of stress going on behind the scenes, but it was pretty darn cool to find out that I got the approval in another country in the most wildest place in the world, being Times Square. So that pizza definitely tasted good, but a little bit deconditioned in the body, so taking things a little bit easier training wise. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a sort of heavier power session today. Go get some of the Olympic lifts. I'm starting to do a little bit more frequent Olympic lifts. I don't know if I'll compete this year in a competition. I think with the gym move and everything, it's sort of taken a bit of a hit, how specific I can go in the Olympic lifts and the training that I want to do there. Maybe end of the year, we'll see. But I think I sort of just want to prepare a little bit more. Been doing a lot of sprint training over the summer, which has been unreal. Maybe do a sprint track race at the end of the year. Who knows? that's sort of been tickling my fancy a little bit. So, but sort of pulling back a little bit on the amount of sprint training I'm doing. I kind of want to do this thing where I'm doing a lot of sprint training in summer and then doing a little bit more Olympic weightlifting in winter. I'm always still doing it all, but I feel like the two sort of complement each other nicely, and just makes me sort of more engaged in my training to have a specific goal during a certain phase. And, you know, once I've peaked in Olympic lifting, I kind of get sick of lifting heavy and all I want to do is run, and then vice versa. Once I've peaked to sprinting, all I want to do is lift heavy. So it's a nice way to have like seasonal changes, seasonal focuses, while still obviously trying to become, I guess, as athletic as I can. But yeah, so we're sort of going through that phase now, going into winter. I want to lift a bit heavier and do a little bit more of the Olympic lifts and try and chase some PBs. So let's go through a session today. Power clean so far. This is where the silly decisions sort of come in when things are starting to feel good and you're like, hey, I might just push it a little bit. We're going to try and jump up to 120 for power cleans, which I think my best is 130. So I'll be very happy hitting a 120 post a couple of weeks off. Sticking to the power cleans, just a bit easier to tolerate than the full cleans. I did like squats the other day and my legs were like cooked for a couple of days. I get like these weird DOMs when I haven't been like when I'm really deconditioned and losing that capacity, where like I get my adductors get super tight, and it like almost feels like they're gonna like tear when I go down to a squat. So I had that the other day and I was like, ooh. So yeah, just sticking to I guess the shorter range catches today. Might do some snatches after. I sort of really need a lot of practice with the deep sort of range snatches to get sort of comfortable catching weight, a heavier weight over my head. I'm a little bit lighter than when I was competing last year in Olympic lifting, and I feel like my overhead stability is just kind of going to shit. Power's feeling really good. Just got to sort of start to gain the technique and I guess the comfortability of feeling that weight overhead in those sort of deeper range squats. But let's see what we can do with this 120. Success. Quite clean. Pretty happy with that. We'll take that. We might just do one more set, see how that feels. Don't need to do too many sets today, considering the lack of capacity, but very happy with the output there. Hopefully you can build up above 130 over the next few weeks. Enjoying the power clean so far, so can you keep ripping them? I'm going 95. See, 95, 100. I feel like 100. 100 is my boogie weight. I've been snatched with 115, but then I just go through some times where I try and get past 100 and I just can't. And like, I'm sure if I did 101, 102, it'd be fine. But that double blue mentality. So I'm always stoked once I get past that. It feels like 105, so it's a bit easier. But today I'll be happy with the 95. Especially like coming back from a bit of a break. I feel like things that require a little bit more motor control, a bit more technical strategy. I feel like snaps are a little bit more technical, especially a power clean. Might take a little bit of time to get back into swing of things, so don't mind just hitting 95 and calling it there, but we'll see how it moves. Pretty energized, feel pretty powerful today, so it is flying up. It's just a matter about getting under the bar and in the right position. So let's see how we go. That was beautiful. Felt really good. Oh, I am tempted. I am very tempted to go to 1 double low. You know what? To set a good example, I'm going to leave it for today. Next week, we'll be slotting it in. Blue one, blue boy. I'm going to use the Eno for this. I'm going to track velocity, probably aim for about 0.8. I wanted it to move a little bit quicker, 0.8 meters per second average velocity. See how that feels. Sometimes I get a little bit of a sore knee on the belt squat if it's so quad loaded. And you just can load it up so quickly. So I will be taking it a little bit easier today. But it's good to be back on the belt squat. All the poor man's Kaiser. We've got the band attached to it. So we're going to be blasting it. The band is nice to be able to really get into some fast eccentric actions and really challenge acceleration throughout the entire range. So yeah, see how we go. Goes on there. Got 1.12 on average. Yeah, so well over 0.8. Means we're going to go up and away. Average 1 that time, so a little bit slower. Obviously with the increase in load, still a little bit more room to go up, so we'll go 220 kilo plates. Don't know what happened with that last rep, but we were about 0.8. Sometimes the tracker doesn't get as accurate as what we want, but we can sort of see sort of nailing that 0.8 average velocity in the first couple of reps. Oh yeah, we'll do I reckon one more set of that. Go from there. The belt squat's so good. It's a power, high force production, best man's friend, if that makes sense. Anytime that you're more stable, your brain's going to feel more comfortable generating a lot more force. So we think about a Smith machine versus a free weight squat. It's going to feel a little bit more secure, and sort of even experiment on the force plates here. That even at the same weight, without previous practice, someone is able to produce a whole lot more force, or not a whole lot, about 10%, 5-10% increase in force in a Smith machine versus a back squat, just because there's less of a motor control demand, and your brain feels a bit more secure, a little bit more safe to generate those higher forces without the feeling of feeling injured or something bad happening. So even better than that is something like a belt squat where the weight's no longer on your back, your axial is fine and things like that. You always, with the weight in your back, you always have that sort of natural feeling of, if I'm going onto a box, am I going to get crushed, am I going to fall over, things like that. Whereas with a belt squat, no load on the back, The arms are there to keep balance. You can just rip it through your legs. So it's a really nice way to move a lot of weight really, really quickly. I'm going to finish off this session with some hammy curls. Just some lying hammy curls. Give the hammy some love. Go sprint in a couple of days' time, so I'm not going to go too hard on anything too heavy eccentric. I'm going to do these single leg. If you've got a lying hamstring curl machine and you get the opportunity to use it, try it single leg. I really like using that variation, not because it's just like working one leg at a time, but when you're in double leg, it's very easy for your hips to like anterior posterior tilt, which kind of give your hammies like a bit of a passive tension to get your legs up or get your shins up. So doing a single leg, your hips are locked. It's very hard for your hips to rotate when you've got one leg straight and one leg bent or lifting up a little bit. So it just kind of like makes it a lot harder to quote unquote achieve the movement. So give it a go, single leg, worth a try. What's up, G?
Doing, bro. Nah, run that back, run that back.
Damn. Show us your heights, bruv.
Bro!
No, you're not connected.
No, I was connected.
Yeah. Alright, keep the arms long. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Let's go, Richie. Punch it up. Come on. Nice. Oosh. Oosh. Good, come on. Ah! Here, get up. Yeah! Woo! Woo!